Welcome back to Grid Gym, guys. I know it's been since last Wednesday. We were just saying that it feels like forever since I've done one of these, and it feels like you've been on vacation, which is kind of the case because Thursday and then Friday was kind of like this weird day, and then we had the weekend, and now we're back on Monday, and it's Cyber Monday, and something really cool is about to happen because Amanda's about to announce something that you can actually double your investment into MS donations. And for those of you that have been following Amanda's story, Amanda ran 176 miles this summer to raise money for MS because 2 of her family members have it and deal with it on a daily basis, and so she knew that she needed to take some kind of action, so she went and ran 176 miles in 6 days, which is psychotic, but it means that she's a super BAMF, and she also works out at Grid Gym, which is pretty cool. All right, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit, or say anything about, I didn't even, you tell them about the donation thing.
Oh, okay. Well, or why I'm here today?
Yeah, why you're here today.
Oh. Yeah, I've been on here a couple times. So last summer in June,
oh yeah, I forgot about the new development.
Yes.
That is why you're here today.
Yeah.
But first, go into the donation thing, and then we'll come back.
So I took part of a fundraiser run, MS Run the US. I was one of 18 people, so I ran 176 miles. But they picked their new team for this coming run, which I'm kind of jealous about, actually, when I read.
I'm not going to do it, or what?
Yeah, it's just weird. But
you're going to find out why she's not doing it here in just a second.
But they are doing something new this year, so tomorrow's Tuesday. It's called Giving Tuesday, and if you make a donation to MS Run the US, they'll double your donation that you give, which is really cool.
Alliteration aside, that is pretty cool.
So yeah, so if you go to MS Run the US, you can donate to anybody, donate to them in general, and they'll double your donation, which is cool.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Where do they go to do that?
Just go to msruntheus.com.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So go to MS, what is it?
msruntheus.com,
and whatever you give tomorrow, it doubles.
Or you can go buy a PlayStation or whatever else you want to spend your money on. But you really should donate to a good cause.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
So.
seriously. Because thoughts and prayers, they're nice and everything, but ultimately it's the money being funded to this thing that's actually going to kick it, right?
Yeah.
And so the new development, the really cool thing, the I don't know what you want to call it, like I totally made an ass out of myself when she first told me, because I was like, what are you going to do? But, so right after her run, like a month after her run, Amanda got a little souvenir with a different Adam. Her significant name is also Adam, but not this Adam.
So yeah, so I'm pregnant.
Yep.
Woohoo! 20 weeks today.
20 weeks today?
Yeah, halfway there. I know. I'm fat.
Is that how you feel? Do you feel like something's growing inside of you, or do you just feel like you're getting fat?
No, because I don't it depends on person to person, but I don't feel anything yet. I don't feel anything move, so I just feel like maybe I'm eating too much and my stomach is only expanding. But, yeah.
But so what now? What's changed? So you're not going to run as near as much if you're pregnant. You're not going to work.
No.
What is changing your workouts, relationships, job, exercise,
everything.
Nutrition, did everything change for you? The money, the second that you heard, hey, yeah, it's positive, you're pregnant, were you like,
which
I've got to change everything, or was it?
I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. Yes, and it almost, and I'll get into it, but changed my identity in a way, because I for a year was working out hardcore and doing everything I could to be in really good shape and.
Not to get pregnant, but to run the race.
Right, yeah. and didn't realize how competitive I was with working out. I left here crying one night because, not that anybody knew it, but I remember, the way it just changes your body, there are hormones that pump through your body and
You mean after you were pregnant, you left here crying?
Yes, which might have been the hormones too, but physically, physically what the hormones do to your body. There was someone that I've worked out with for quite a while, and this person lifted more than me that day, which was different than it had been in the past. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? And I got really upset about it. And I was like, this is like things to come, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and to be okay with that was hard. Like,
really?
to accept that, okay, you need to change things maybe a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? No, you don't know what I mean.
No, I don't.
No.
I mean, I've never been pregnant. Imagine
Right.
that. So I'm kind of new to this whole thing. And this has been interesting because, like, you're the first, what I would call peer that I've been around that is gotten pregnant. So, like, for me, like, this is a very interesting thing watching you. I don't want to say go through this,
Right.
but go through this.
Right.
I don't know.
This journey.
Because, like, even when you first told me, I felt like I was 17 years old, being like, oh my god, what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna are you gonna keep it? Like, oh my god, you know? And I should have been like, hey, congratulations.
Right.
You just ruined your life. No, I'm joking.
But it is a weird thing. You do like I've waited. What?
Nothing. Just
People saying hi.
Yep.
I mean, I'll admit, like, I'm 36, 37 years old. One of those two. So around there. So I mean, I've waited a long time in my life to do this, but still, that thought went through my head, like, I'm gonna be in trouble. I'm pregnant. Like,
yeah.
I have to tell my parents, and it was like, it was a little nerve-wracking. But then I'm like, I'm old. I can do this.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Not feel bad about it.
The world is your oyster.
I can't eat oysters right now.
You can't eat oysters. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about food.
Yeah.
What's changed, but yeah, it's an interesting thing because it's like, holy shit, you're gonna have the largest of responsibilities that anybody has ever taken a part of by becoming a mom. And a mom is different than becoming a dad. Like I'll never know what it's like to be a mom.
Right. Mr. Mom.
That's a great movie though. Michael Keaton. That was a really good movie. But there's some kind of connection between a mom and a little girl or a mom and a little boy that is just totally different than a dad and a little girl or a dad and a little boy. It's totally a different deal.
Yeah. It's interesting when you do sit down and you sit back and you think about it and you're like, that's going to be my life. Like, something major is going to change. As much as you'd like to think, like, because it's like not a lot has changed right now. Obviously, physically, you're going through this thing. But you're like, oh, it's not going to be that big a deal. It's, I know. Well, it is a little nerve-wracking when you
I imagine it's
think
just
about
like, it's like anything else. You just deal with whatever comes at you.
Right.
You know, like when you graduated college or graduated high school, like the next step, like you could have done anything you wanted and you just dealt with it, right?
Right.
What about the whole identity thing? Because I thought that was an interesting comment. What do you mean?
I don't know, because I'm like, so many things in your life have to change. Like you're carrying a human being now. So whatever I'm doing to my body, I'm doing to somebody else.
Yeah.
And
the responsibility thing,
yeah. Yeah, and maybe, partying and drinking and the things you eat and just your everyday is different. You have to think about those things. Like, I mean, even on the smallest little thing, like yesterday I was hanging Christmas lights up and I'm like, oh, there's a chair, I'll stand on it. Well, 2 seconds later I fell through the chair while I was hanging Christmas lights. But it was like, whoa, like, am I okay? Well, I'm fine. I got some bruises, but like, is it okay? Like, you can't just think about yourself.
Yeah.
My mom made the comment too. Like,
I'm glad that you didn't go to like the fat ass thing. Like, oh my god, this is a fat ass.
No, my mom goes, well, remember, Amanda, you weigh a little more now. And I'm like, oh god, thanks.
Thanks, Mom.
I didn't think about that. No, I'm kidding. But you do, like yesterday I may have. It's like this weird balance because, like, on one hand, it's like, man, I sleep a lot and I'm tired a lot, and I have a hard time. Like you've kind of mentioned before, relaxing and making yourself just relax and just do nothing.
Not how hard it actually is.
Yes, and I have a really hard time with that.
Yeah, me too.
So I've been trying to make myself do a lot more of that. And yesterday, like, cleaned out my whole basement. I went to the grocery store. I hung Christmas stuff, and by the time I went to bed, I was like, I do not feel good. Like you know, you just did too much. So, but no, I can't be the same person I was before right now. Like, there are things I have to change.
Do you think that's just the shift in I'm going to be a mom, or have this thing inside me, or just like hormonal, or
I don't know. Part of it's like
mindset.
Part of it's a frustration because, you know, you get online a lot and obviously you start Googling mad about like being pregnant, what's being pregnant like, and then you start comparing yourself to other people that are pregnant or have been pregnant.
It sounds like a terrible idea.
It is like with the whole working out thing, and we can get into that more. Obviously, that's why I'm here. But like comparing myself to other women that work out while they're pregnant, because it is such a controversial thing, and there's not a lot of information out there about it. But I've seen myself compare myself, thinking, well, I can do that. I should be able to do that. I should, you know. Why can't I do that?
Yeah.
Like, kind of thing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I don't think it's ridiculous to think that you're pregnant, so you need to change your workouts. I do think it's ridiculous to think I'm pregnant, I should just lay in bed and eat all day.
Right.
Never work out, never do anything. Like, I think we've taken the rest thing a little too far.
Yeah. I mean, you do need to get a little more rest, I think. Well, physically, the things that are going on in your body, your cardiovascular system's working harder, your blood supply is going to support another human being and things like
everything
that.
you eat is going to another place. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's allocated completely different than it was before.
Right. So you have to change things. You do have to change how you eat to accommodate that. You do need, things slow down a little bit. It's frustrating.
Well, yeah.
It can be frustrating. But in the same token, like, you know, look what you're doing. You're creating life and that sort of thing. But
it's kind of amazing if you really stop and think about it. Like you really get existential about it, like as I do with different things. Like you just created a new,
a human.
Here's a soul. Here, go
right.
out and live a life.
In 9-10 months.
Where did you come from?
Like,
well, who knows? Where where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go when you die? Where'd you come from when you were born? I don't know. But you just did it. You like if you believe in a God, you just like reached into God and pulled that shit right out. My belly.
It is such
your belly.
It is a weird thing. It is a weird thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. Sure. It's pretty wild, and it happens by way of a really fun thing. Okay, so you're this crazy workout person that runs 176 miles. Now you can't. Was there a natural slowdown, or was it like I need to slow down?
It wasn't like a decision I made. Like, I need to slow down. It wasn't at all. Like, I was still coming in here and still pushing myself and still like, put more weight on there.
Yeah.
But then, like you also think in your mind, like, is what I'm doing okay? Because there's not a lot of information out there to tell you that it's okay. Really, what's okay, what makes it okay is you really need to listen to your body. Like, am I hurting in certain places? Maybe I shouldn't. Or, like, you shouldn't use it as an excuse, like, I'm pregnant, so I better not do this. It's 100%. More of, like, you need to, there's a balance with it, I guess. You're
not going to pull Valsalva maneuver super, super hard and put on a weightlifting belt that's going to squeeze your stomach down so that you can max out deadlift. That'd be silly.
Right.
But at the same time, like, you can still pick up heavy stuff.
Right.
You just, we were saying that one day when you were like, it feels weird at the bottom of my deadlift to push out against my stomach, so I'm just going to stay at this weight. It's like, no big deal. Right. And it probably felt like you were going through the motions, but it wasn't.
Right. But, and don't get me wrong, like, we can say, I don't want to shame somebody for not working out or not doing this or that. I think it's why you're pregnant. I think it's different person to person.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's so hard about it, is when you go out there and you're like, I want somebody or something to tell me exactly what it's going to be like. Well, there's not.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
It's not. And you working out compared to the next woman that's pregnant working out is not even, it's not going to be the same either.
Right.
And it's...
Yeah, just being smart about it goes a long way. Like one of the things that you said right at first was like, I had been trying to find a way to say this to people for the longest time, but it was perfect, and now I'm forgetting it. But it was like, if you didn't do it before, you probably shouldn't do it now. So it was something like that. It was like, yeah, if you weren't deadlifting heavy before and running miles before and lifting weights and doing all this stuff before, then you probably shouldn't ramp up and try to go hardcore while you're pregnant. But you should probably still do something.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, like for women that weren't lifting before and that sort of thing, and they're like, oh, I'm pregnant, I really want to start taking care of myself, or I need to start taking care of myself for somebody else too. Don't go starting a new workout program, you know, that because you think you need to get in shape now. Yeah. You kind of miss that. It's a good idea. Boat. I mean, it's yes.
Like you can still do something, but like the point isn't that you can't do anything that you didn't do before. Right. It's that if you were doing it before, you can do it now.
Right.
Like on the internet, you see women getting torched for they're deadlifting while they're pregnant, or they're running while they're pregnant, or like whatever it is. Like that girl that ran the 800 for the U.S. team, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, while she was, I think she was like 6 months pregnant. She was like, I'm not giving up on this opportunity to compete.
Right.
People gave her so much crap for that. Yeah. It's like, that baby's fine.
Yeah. There's this woman that I've been following on Instagram. She's, granted, I mean, her body makeup's probably a little bit different than mine. I mean, she's a personal trainer and that sort of thing. She's hardcore. But she did sprints and lifted and did everything the same throughout her, I won't say the same, throughout her pregnancy. I mean, she
still did stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she got a lot of flack for it, and people are like, you know, you're gonna cause yourself to go into labor early, or your baby's gonna have a small, you know, is gonna be small as far as weight and things like that.
My favorite one was that you're stealing oxygen. If you're out of breath, you're stealing oxygen from your baby.
Yeah, which that actually scientifically has been proven wrong.
That
is incorrect.
Yeah, you're not. It's not on the same.
No. And that's the problem. There's so many myths out there that there are a lot of things that have been proven incorrect as far as working out related to pregnancy, but there's not been a lot of stuff out there that has come out and publicly debunked it, you know, so that women do feel
some of it's a little logical, like doing planks while you're 8 months pregnant. Well, there's a lot of pressure getting sucked down in one area there that it might not be the best of exercises. You might flip over and do like a dead bug variation.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, you don't want to
just switch things to be smart.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, don't do ab routines when you're pregnant. You can do. You want to strengthen your core when you're pregnant. No, you don't want to go do 100, you know, sit-ups. Like that's silly. Like obviously you don't want to do that, but there's things that you can do to compensate for that.
So you've changed a lot of stuff about your workouts, and you've learned a lot of stuff about being pregnant, not just from the experience, but also because you're a nut and you went and looked all over the internet about it.
Right.
What else has changed? What about like your job while being pregnant? Has that changed, or your day-to-day stuff?
I mean, day-to-day stuff, yeah. Like, you know, when I would wake up in the morning, like I would take, you know, I would have protein shakes, I would have supplements, I would do this and that. Like, you know, there are things about my everyday, like having caffeine in the morning and things like that, which you can have caffeine when you're pregnant, but there's limitations on a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
like you don't want to go out and get sauced every night?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you miss it?
Yeah, I miss having my glass of wine at night. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it sucks. But yeah, there are little things you consciously have to think about it. Like, what am I putting in my body? Can I? Should I? Is it okay?
Yeah.
You know, you have to become pretty selfish in a sense. It's not just me. It's not just about me. And I guess that's where the whole thing starts changing. Even before the child's here, you're changing your life, thinking about somebody else other than yourself.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, because right now you're pretty symbiotic, but you're about to.
Yeah. So yeah, so that, like a lot of the, you know, a lot of the supplements and things that I was taking, you want to be careful about that stuff, just because.
What did you find out about supplements? What ones do you want to? What ones are you avoiding now?
Really, like if you're going to take a supplement, it shouldn't be supplementing something. Like first and foremost, you want, and even not being pregnant, I suppose. You want
that works both ways.
Your food should be first and foremost.
Right.
Like
you're not going to supplement
things,
your way out of a crappy diet.
Exactly.
I didn't eat any vegetables today. I better take a multivitamin.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Yeah. I mean, that's not going to help a growing fetus. I mean, there are things that you can, that you can still take and add into your diet, prenatal vitamins and things like that. There's things you want to take. But by no means should that be making up your lack of eating healthy.
What about fish oil? Fish oil is one that doctors throw down on, but it's getting the fish oil 10 years ago versus the fish oil today, much more clean today than it was.
Yeah. I mean, you really don't want to go out and buy the generic cheap brand.
I don't think you want to do that anyway.
Whatever. Yeah, like, I really should be taking fish oil. Let's go see how little I can spend on it.
Your dad apparently asked for her to tell you hi.
Hi, Dad.
Yeah, I mean, because I try to get everybody on vitamin D, a fish oil, and a probiotic. And past that, I don't like. After that, I'm just like, it's your choice after that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a couple things that come into play here. There are women that obviously have your pregnancy sickness, your morning sickness, and that sort of thing.
Sounds awful.
I am insanely grateful for the fact that I have not had that at all.
I just hit your leg a lot harder than I meant to.
Like some women deal with that, like women in my family. Like I had a sister who actually lost weight instead of gained weight because she was so sick.
Really?
And I don't know if this is a coincidence or not, but I feel that my working out up until becoming pregnant and my eating habits up until that have honestly helped avoid some.
Why do you think that is?
I just think that my body was in a good place.
Yeah.
Prior to becoming.
Yeah. Well, you were in about as good a shape as you were probably going to be in before you got pregnant.
Yeah, for the most part, yes.
Yeah.
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 So I think that it's helped me, knock on wood, but I think it's helped working out and stuff.
Yeah.
And now since being pregnant, being tired, not like the tiredness is nuts.
Are you just tired all the time?
Just tired.
Because you being in here, me watching you versus being pregnant versus not being pregnant, usually you're like a spark plug. It's just like, there's Amanda and she's so energetic, bouncing all over the walls. And since being pregnant, like at first it wasn't like you couldn't, and then all of a sudden at some point along the way it was just like, wow, I'm here.
Yeah, let's do this.
I'm here.
Yeah, honestly. And that's been enough, even in the whole identity thing, I feel like part of me is not myself. I want to say, I don't know, there's times where I've gone days at a time and not worked out and just been like, I just want to sleep, I just want to lay here, I just don't want to do anything. But honestly, when I make myself, if I go consecutive days and I'm that way, I can tell that my mood goes down.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell that I'm it's just not in a good place.
So where does that come? Where you do it anyway, you know what I mean? You're tired, I don't want to, where do you just go ahead and do it anyway?
Yeah, and I'm like, get up, go walk the dogs, and then after I do that, the energy I get from that, people may think you're full of crap, but honestly, the energy I get from that. Okay, now I can go do the dishes. Now I can do this. Now I can do that. I don't want to just go hide in my bed again.
Yeah. There's obviously something to getting up, moving, putting a smile on your face even when you don't want to, exercising even though you don't, pushing through something that you didn't necessarily want to do. I'm not saying you got to exercise all day, but doing something quick and hitting it. 5 minutes is better than 0 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Walking the dogs.
Honestly, making your mood and stress have always been an issue for me. I've always kind of dealt with that, and working out has really helped me. And I found myself, a while back, weeks ago, kind of getting into a bad place of like kind of giving in to the tiredness and giving in to the cravings of wanting to eat bad and things like that. And I just saw myself kind of going,
letting yourself go.
Yeah. Like, and it didn't feel good. Like, it was just yucky and crappy. And
I think we all get to that point. I know I do.
Yeah.
Why do you think, like, what did you do to get out of it? Or like, I don't know.
I wouldn't say I'm permanently out of it, but like.
Well, do you even know why you went, like, do you analyze why you went to those levels?
Like, it was like two people talking in my head. Like, one saying, like,
really?
You're pregnant, like, give yourself a break. Like, go eat that container of ice cream. Like, which, whatever. You know, it. What?
I don't know.
It says that was to be yell, not tell.
Oh. What? I don't know what that means.
We'll know here in a second.
Okay.
But yeah, to eat crappy, to eat the whatever it is, the junk food, the ice cream, the candy bar, and not go work out.
But it's like, I've always, how do I explain it? Like, for that year, like, really on myself about when I didn't want to go run, like, making yourself go run, or when I didn't want to work out, making yourself go work out.
Yeah.
And it's like, I got to this point, it was like, give yourself a break, you know? Go lay down. Go do whatever. But you can't do the extreme. You can't, you know.
Yeah, there comes a point where you got to listen to that.
Yeah.
And you got to be like, all right, it's time for me. And then there comes a point where it's like, no, I decided I was going to go work out. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm. I've even drove all the way here and sat in the parking lot and been like,
I think we've all done that before. You're trying to think of something that you forgot at home, so you can go back.
Yeah.
But I didn't bring underwear. I'm wearing them. Shit.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's been a weird thing.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Do you notice any differences in your relationship between being pregnant, not being pregnant, working out, not working out as much? You know what I mean? Because there's two tangoing around in the scenario of being pregnant. You know, it doesn't just.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some ups and downs with that. It's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like, just to be honest, I feel like I'm changing everything about me and accommodating because I'm the one physically pregnant.
Yeah, not metaphorically.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, and I think that the other person that took part in that should change a little bit too.
I think that would be hard, like, for real, like, coming from a guy's perspective, not hard to, I don't, like, changing, not drinking, going through, like, doing as much as you could to, like, be with her in that space would be easy, but, like, then going that extra, trying to empathize or sympathize or whatever and be there would be extremely hard, because, like, I don't know. I have no ability to know.
I mean, now that we're thinking about or talking about this, it's making me think. Like, in the beginning, I felt like super lonely. Like, I was the only person going through this.
Yeah.
Because your body's going through the changes, the hormone changes, the things like that, and I'm like, it just felt super lonely.
I can see that.
Until, like, I said something about it. Like, you know, I had to say something about it, I guess. And that helped a lot.
He might have even been waiting for you to say that. Like, just like buying his time until you were ready to open up about it.
Like, instead of me getting angry and being woe is me and why aren't you saying anything about this or changing anything, like, I had to think from his perspective too. Like, he doesn't know.
Has no ability.
He has no idea.
He doesn't know that he doesn't know.
Yeah.
There's no ability to know. It's just not even on his radar. You know, it's like, oh, she's pregnant. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So, to give him the benefit of the doubt, like, spelling it out, you know, was probably communicating about it. Because they don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I find it, I just, like, ask questions, and some of them I don't think I could probably really do on here, because, like, some would be just a little bit too, people would be like, why would you want to know that? Right. Like, I want to know everything.
Exactly.
I find it so curious, the whole having kids thing. That's the only thing that gets me on the train with having kids is like the curiosity of it all.
I know.
So when you get there, do you think you're going to go, all that it's a love like you've never known was total bullshit, or do you think it's gonna be like it really is a love like you've never known? Because that's a win-win either way. You get to win. If you find out it's bullshit, you get to go, I told everybody so. And if you don't,
I don't know. Like, I don't think that anybody really knows. Like, I have a good friend that was describing, you know, when she gave birth and this and that, and she's like, everybody told me that I would feel this feeling, and the first time I see them, like, it's just going to be this overwhelming thing. And she's like, really, I felt like I couldn't connect with this human being, this baby. Like, it didn't do anything. It just cried, and it just did this and that. And she's like, it was a good months before I really felt like I had a connection with it.
I can see that.
Like, so I don't think that people should give themselves such a hard time, because again, you're trying to compare yourself to everybody. Like, you're wanting it to be spelled out. Like, you're going to feel this magical feeling. Yeah. You're going to cry. You're not going to cry. Like, you know. Or you're
going to be happy, or you're going to feel joy, or you're going to feel love, or you're going to feel whatever it is.
Everyone has their own experience with it, I think. Yeah. And that's like, just, I guess, overall about this conversation, like working out and stuff, and women that are pregnant or thinking about it, is just like, try not to compare yourself to everyone else.
The what's that poem? Joanne says and makes the joke all the time. She, the flower. The poem is something about the flower. The two flowers. The flower doesn't compare itself to the one beside it. It just blooms or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like. So Joanne, once in a while, when she's comparing herself to someone in here, she'll go, "Bad Daisy."
You know, yeah.
It's pretty funny.
You can use other people's experiences as kind of guidelines and checkpoints and things like that, but overall, it's none of them are the same. Yeah. At all.
I would think.
The woman.
Aaron says, "You go, Amanda," with an exclamation point. I didn't really put the exclamation in there, but anyway. So you go, Amanda. I wish I knew you years ago when I was preggers. You have a great attitude.
Thanks.
That also has an exclamation behind it.
You have a great attitude.
Woo!
There.
Thanks.
There's the exclamation.
I appreciate that.
No, I think I would imagine that it has to be that way. That every single person is just a little bit different, and it's extremely unique, and I don't know, that your body is going to react in different ways. And
So this to get into the comparison again, this the woman that I had been following or whatever that worked out pretty hardcore.
Oh, that personal trainer.
So she had her baby, and 14 days later, she posts a picture of her body, like post-pregnancy, of what she looks like, and she's like, "This is me 14 days after."
Is everybody like, "Fucking bitch"?
It like she looks amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I remember showing Adam, he's like, "You lose weight that fast?" And I'm like, "That I don't think that that's the norm."
Well, she was already probably so strong and so put together before that she's gonna bounce back pretty quick because
yes. So I can see that being very depressing, or very like you can get hard on yourself. Like, why don't I look like that? Like 14 days after I had a child. But again, it's like trying to remember that everyone's not the same.
Yeah. And she's probably consistently put in time for years and years and years into a body that brick shit house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
No, that's pretty cool. What do you miss most? Before and after pregnancy?
I don't know. I'm just not really thinking about every little thing.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to go with food or wine or something like that.
Sure, wine. Like, if I want to go home and have a glass of wine and go to bed late.
Pack of cigarettes.
It's just me that... It's just me that I worry about. Now it's... Yeah. You know, and holidays when everyone's sitting around, you know, drinking and having a gay old time, and you're like, I just want to go take a nap. And... yeah, it's
just different.
Yeah, it is.
Is that a cool new experience? I'm glad you're preggers. And to use Aaron's word.
I think part of it. It's a cool thing. Like, I've always wanted to be
really
a mom,
cool thing.
like I had. So
Do you think you would
that's
have ever
cool.
been like? I don't think you super planned this. I don't know.
No.
Did you? Okay, so you didn't plan it. Unplanned. It happened. Do you think you ever would have been like just super? I'm ready. Let's do this.
Nah. I mean, I think that we can get so fixated in life of these are the steps and this is what you do in your life. Like,
Yeah.
you go to college and then you get done and you get a job and then you meet somebody and you get married and the next is the kids and that sort of thing. You know, and that works out fine for some people, whatever.
You're not a status quo person.
I've-
Neither am I.
I've never
Like,
been that way.
Yeah.
And I see no problem in, you know, if you're in a healthy relationship and that's where it goes, then so be it.
Sure.
I don't need,
Yeah.
you know, not everyone follows that same path, and that's fine. My tummy's growling right now.
Is it your tummy or the kid's tummy?
Anyway,
Or both?
I think I'm okay with it. And if people, you know, if there are people that have problems with it, that's fine. It's not for everybody, but,
That problems with what?
you know, not being married and having kids and things like
I
that,
gotcha.
like,
Yeah, I
you know,
definitely
so
know.
be it. I think, you know, times have changed, things have changed, and whatever.
Yeah. Not everybody has to have 4 kids for the species to survive anymore. Now we could almost like just have 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. Anything else you want to leave everybody with?
Donate tomorrow.
Where do they donate? For MS.
MS Run the US. No, I'm not running this year, but it still means a lot to me, and you know, with my mom and sister having MS and that sort of thing, and it's a good time of year to give. And tomorrow, if you make a donation, they'll double that donation. So go to MS Run the US.
MSRuntheUS.com. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we're in November. What are we, November
Tomorrow
28th?
is the 28th, yeah.
November 28th,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So,
MS Run the US, they'll double your donation. So,
yep.
all right, well, thanks for being here. Where can they follow you?
Wherever they want.
Wherever they want? On Instagram, what are you? What are you?
Amanda.
Oh, yeah, you have
Scott.
a really good name. It's like MANDUH, Scott.
Yeah.
And then Facebook,
It's just my name, Amanda Scott.
Amanda Scott. Hey, that was a pregnant lady right there.
Yeah.
Great. All right, thanks for being here, guys. Please share, slap the share button. Send this out to everybody. You know, there's a lot of really, like, you're kind of just like brushing it off, like, oh, it's all right. But no, there's a lot of, like, there's golden nuggets in there that a lot of pregnant women should probably hear.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
could benefit from, but that they should hear it.
Yeah, don't be so hard on yourself, and everybody's going to have an opinion about working out while you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Everyone is. So, you know, do your research and that sort of thing, but just listen to your body. And
Yeah, and there's not there's not one shred of evidence saying that you should not exercise while you're pregnant.
there's actually a lot of good things out there now that
Yeah.
say you should.
Uh-huh.
Like, it helps you sleep at night. I mean, it is good for the baby. There are actually studies that show that
It helps your delivery.
once the baby's born, there's these things called AFGAR scores that they score an infant once it's born on different levels, and they're known to have higher of those levels in comparison for, you know, mothers that work out and,
Yeah.
and that kind of
Yeah.
thing. So
It helps you come back after the pregnancy. It helps during the pregnancy. It helps you sleep better. It helps everything. But you have to do so smart.
right.
Yeah, and you have to listen to your body.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
The new development in Amanda Scott. She's the 3rd timer on the show too. Kind of cool.
What? I was thinking about today, 3rd or 4th.
Well,
Well, that one was kind of not really
yeah, that
your
was
normal showtime. Yeah.
That was a normal showtime.
So, all right.
Showtime. All right, thanks guys for being here. Please slap the share button, send this out to everybody you know. And if you know anybody that's pregnant, anybody that's been pregnant, or anybody that's going to be pregnant in the next little bit, which is kind of a weird thing to try to forecast. But anyway, send this directly to them. This is a ton of good stuff from Amanda Scott today. So thanks for being here, guys. Really appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.